Hey everyone, Kris here for Thomann's Guitars and Basses, and I have the one and only amazing Bernth here in the studio. Thanks for coming in.
Hello, thanks for having me.
And we made a video already talking about these beauties and about current life events in Bernth's life, so check out that video, of course. This time I wanted to ask you about your picking. Regular viewers of this channel will know that I'm not a big shredder. I play guitar for long enough to not have any good excuses left other than, you know, just not paying enough attention to it maybe. That doesn't mean that I don't love a little bit of a good old shred, and I would love to improve my right hand.
So do some of that fun stuff.
Exactly, yeah. Because it's just fun to just sometimes really go for it and just shred the stars off the sky.
Nice.
And who's better to ask than you? The first thing you played in this other video was like, oh, come on, that right hand is so ridiculously efficient. Like, how do you do that?
For me, it was a very, very, very long journey. I started out self-taught, and when I started picking, I had a kind of a reverse grip. So open hand, and the pick was not hitting the strings like this, but at a reverse angle, like that.
Like Rabia
He's also playing.
Yeah.
I think Ola England is also
playing
true. Like that. So
yeah.
I can't really recreate that anymore. It feels very wrong nowadays. And it kind of worked out for tremolo picking, just going fast. And I was also picking from my whole arm.
Oh, okay.
So it was kind of super dirty, but I got away with it by just cranking the gain as much as possible. And at one point, I kind of ran out of excuses at this point. I should look into picking technique and how this actually works.
Yeah.
So the first thing I did is I observed my personal favorite players, and I saw that they all close their hands.
Oh, okay.
So there's no right or wrong when it comes to open or closed hand picking technique. John Petrucci, I think, is playing open, so obviously that works as well. But for a lot of players that I saw, they close their hands like this. And that became very attractive to me because just the movement, when I pick like this without actually playing guitar, I feel my fingers kind of flopping around.
Ah, okay.
Like,
unless you just...
yeah, if you keep them super stiff, that would kind of work.
Yeah.
But for me, they were always very floppy because I was trying to relax my pick grip. And they were also hitting the switches sometimes. So I was soloing like this and kind of changed the pickup. So that was a big first step for me, to close the hand like this, not really with a lot of pressure or force, like making a fist, but really just kind of curling.
Rolling in the fingers,
just rolling them in. That was a big first step in the right direction for me. But even then, I still, as soon as things got faster, purely kind of picked from my whole arm. I was kind of... When I started playing, I was trying to learn songs like Angel of Death, for example, with a lot of 0, 0, 0, 0, like a lot of tremolo picking like this. And I was playing like from my whole arm like that. And I soon discovered that my favorite players that got some nice fluid sounds this out of their picking use their wrist for that stuff and not the full arm like this. Because not only do you get a lot of string noise when you pick from the full arm, you also kind of play on strings that you don't even want to play on. And it's very difficult to feel the subdivisions, or like, are you playing 16th notes or triplets? And some metal
less
players,
control over a lot of things.
Most metal or some metal players, me included when I started out, just go as fast as possible. And they don't really play triplets or 16th notes, kind of something in between, just to keep up with the drums. And I really wanted to make sure that I was playing the right note values. Because even with a simple example like the Angel of Death riff, I found like sometimes I was landing those power chords on an upstroke and sometimes on a downstroke. Because I wasn't... Because I didn't feel the right note values, and sometimes ended like this, other times like that.
Sometimes it was just 15 notes instead of 16.
Exactly.
It's like,
that's what happened to me. To show you an exercise that's really cool, that activates the wrist, that I always have to practice. In fact, I should do that now because I just came out of the car and it's very rainy in Germany. It's very cold at the moment, so I'm not exactly warmed up. So what I found is a great exercise is simply taking an octave interval, D for example, and then playing 2 strokes per string. So 2 strokes for the A string, 2 strokes for the G string, just really simple. Just doing that kind of 2-stroke movement and only focusing on really letting it come from the wrist instead of the arm.
And loose, like no tension, no
Yes,
no
exactly.
I don't know, forcing.
I really like doing that stuff at very, very slow tempos in order to warm up, because it's great for the timing, and because you can also really focus on, am I really just using the wrist, or am I feeling like a little bit of my arm in there?
Okay.
So it definitely doesn't hurt to start super slow with that stuff. And as soon as you speed it up a little bit, I still kind of want to make sure that my palm is positioned on the bridge and that I feel it in my wrist. Because you're skipping a string in between, it's kind of impossible to do that if the movement comes from the arm.
Ah, right. Yeah, because you have to actually
because
move the whole arm.
If you do it from the full arm, this will not sound great. But if I do this with my full... I'm just immediately lose control.
It's terrible.
It just doesn't
if you
work
use the whole
anymore.
arm, your shoulder kind of jumps with when you jump on the G string.
So that's been kind of a game changer workout for me. Very simple, but I use it to warm up all the time. And you can also extend that to full chords. For example, if you take the D minor chord shape and you start playing the full chord with just 2 strokes, that's something that really warms up my hand. And whenever you see some vlogs on my YouTube channel, like some backstage stuff, you always see me doing this. That's what I do right before going on stage, because that's what really warms up the picking hand, to just go for 2 strings. Because with the 3-note per string stuff, you have much more time to go from string to string. But with 2 notes, you just play like 2 strokes and then you have to go to the next string right away. So this is what I feel like warms up my picking hand the fastest. You don't even have to go for chords. You can really just also just use dead notes for that, just to get the picking hand going.
How do you know if it's too quick, too soon? Like, of course, accuracy, that's a giveaway. As soon as you figure out that you just miss notes, it's like, okay, no, back it up.
So I built kind of all of my techniques and everything that I do by practicing outside of the comfort zone. So I'm very familiar with that feeling of it doesn't work yet, it sounds pretty terrible. But I feel like it's very important, because I have some people that are frustrated because they can't kind of leap over that barrier that they currently have, because they always only practice what they're comfortable with and what sounds good, because we want to sound good in our practice routine.
Hey, it's me, Kris.
Just much more motivating if I sound great, I'm really good, instead of working on something that sounds bad. So that's what I try to do. Still to this day, I push way above what I can do. But the moment where it gets a bit dangerous, and that's the only kind of strict advice that I have, is whenever you feel like something hurts, I would definitely stop. Because over the last around 20 years of playing and kind of pushing the technique forward, I never had any issues with tendonitis or with anything like that. Because whenever it kind of hurts, I just always stopped. And that's the biggest warning sign. If it sounds a bit sloppy, that's actually a good sign when you're practicing, because it means that you're not just working on something that you can do perfectly. In my Patreon community, there's a Discord server where people upload practice footage, and I'm always happy to see sloppy footage in there, because this group is not really about showing off. It's about this is not sounding great. What am I doing wrong? What could I do better? The hardest thing is to just analyze what's happening right there. For example, string noise is kind of a big frustration for people. Most people think it's coming from the fretting hand exclusively. But when people close their hands for the first time, they often scrape against the strings a little bit.
Oh, true, the other strings,
So they work extremely hard on the fretting hand technique, and they're like, I still get string noise when it's the right hand. That's actually the problem. If you're analytical about it and you know that it's not there yet, I think practicing in a sloppy way is actually really good for you.
2 things. First of all, shameless plug. Do check out Bernth's courses and everything. It's so many good infos and stuff, and such a good community. If you want to learn like precise playing and everything, such a good place to go. The second thing is, how do you hold a pick? Because that's something that I figured, like I come from a metal background and played in like a thrash / power metal band, which is weird if you know me now, because I'm not that quick anymore. But I used to do all the and I still love playing it. The thing is though that whenever I play those kind of styles that require a lot of precision, a lot of up and down strokes and everything, I tend to move the pick instead of going like 90 degrees from my thumb to a little bit facing forward.
Oh, okay.
Like instead of having this angle, it points like this because of how I hold my hand. Because my index finger kind of points towards the strings, which I've seen that you are not doing. A lot of shredders and like really accurate players don't do. They roll the index in a bit, like close it a bit. And then this is probably not necessary anymore. Then the pick can look just like 90 degrees because the whole palm is so basically parallel to the strings. How do you hold it?
Yeah, so for me, it's kind of the classic grip where the pick goes right here. I used to have it here.
Okay.
Which
like at the tip of the
yes, and you can always see that when players do that because this is kind of hole or O shape with the fingers. And I used to have that, and then I looked at my favorite players and they didn't have it, and I couldn't figure out why.
Okay.
And I thought for quite a while that maybe my fingers are longer or something, but it's really just that I discovered that they have to pick right here,
and
so not at the tip. Yes.
Okay, wow.
So when I hold it right here and I play like this, you can see that
it's super flat.
It's gone.
Kind of close.
And I also angle the pick like that because when I transitioned from the reverse angle to the normal angle, I was picking parallel for a while.
Okay.
So the pick completely parallel to the string.
Yeah.
And that's what really got me stuck.
Yeah. That's really tough to not get stuck between the strings. Yeah.
Because even when you just push down on one string completely parallel like this, it feels like there's a lot of resistance compared to when you angle it a little bit. Feels like there's almost no resistance.
Also sounds different, of course.
Yeah, and that has been my preferred picking angle for pretty much everything. The only exception where it changes a little bit is whenever I play chords, because my picking hand is not on the bridge anymore.
Bigger movements, okay.
So that's when the wrist kind of pops out a little bit like this. Where you have those faster like dead note patterns, funky stuff. That always sounded really off, having the palm on the bridge like trying to strum. But for everything else, I was just trying to develop one technique that works. So I don't really want to change my pick grip or position when I go. When I go from a riff into a lick, I don't really want to be like in my mind, okay, riff, lick, riff. So, because that's where it kind of falls apart.
Yeah.
So that's been my personal biggest goal, because I feel like a lot of players kind of organize their practice routine in a way where they practice sweep picking for 10, 15 minutes, alternate picking, and then kind of separate all those techniques, and then they end up with this sweep picking technique, this alternate picking technique, this technique for
chords and stuff.
And when they play a song, it kind of all falls apart. That's the one thing that I would also recommend, to have at least one practical block in your practice routine where those techniques kind of come together.
You mix stuff.
So that you don't develop completely separated picking approaches for different techniques.
True. Yeah, I can relate to so many of the things that you just said. Like even back in music college, we were discussing like who picks fast out of the arm and who picks with just from the wrist, and all those like different techniques for different kinds of parts of your song. It's like that doesn't sound like a good idea, And still you kind of stick to it because it's just what you know.
Yeah.
It's a really good reminder.
It's very hard to correct your own bad habits when you don't see them. That was my biggest frustration, because you only have this kind of top view when you're practicing. Yeah. And when I started making videos, I actually saw, like in a disconnected way of, well, okay, that does not look right. Like you see the pinky finger lifting, you see that the picking is inconsistent for different techniques.
Yeah.
So start a YouTube channel. Film yourself, or you don't even have to upload, just filming yourself can also be
totally.
Great for that.
Totally. Wow, okay, I need to go practice now.
Me too.
Bernth, thank you so much.
Thank you.
This has been so enlightening. Cool. And I'm looking forward to spending some more time and rolling in that index finger.
Yeah,
that's
definitely
that's
not an instant transition, but after a couple of weeks it starts to feel a little bit more natural.
Wow.
Cool.
I mean, you're closer to the strings, which also instantly gives you more control over, finesse and everything. I love this. All right, you guys take it easy. Let us know in the comments below if you have any questions. I might be able to answer them. If not, we might be able to ask Bernth and
Nice.
yeah, come back to you. You guys take it easy and see you in another video. And check out Bernth's channel.
Thank you.
Bye. That's awesome, man. That's why I was like, how can you be so ridiculously efficient?